Greetings guys, Si here and welcome back to Project Left. Today is the final day of my A to Z countdown. It's the letter Z.
Alright, stranger.
Oh, hi.
That's a hell of a shot. I've been busy with work. What's your excuse?
I've just been rubbish, basically.
Oh.
But I am going to try and make up for that now. So let's go.
Alright, what's happened then, mate? What's going on?
Well, yeah. So, as you've already seen, I did start to record an intro for Z. I was right on track with that A to Z. I was really enjoying it, actually. I've done some good content, I think. I certainly pushed myself to do daily video, which is tough. But yeah, I went to basketball. I edited a little sequence from basketball. Then went home, and the plan was to play golf. Have every shot filmed by Harry, one of our juniors, which happened. The plan was to edit the Z video at night when the kids were in bed. That was the plan. Life got in the way and I didn't get much sleep that night, but let's park that there. And from there I'd kind of lost a bit of motivation, but and just kind of that momentum that was going with it.
Was it motivation because you had a bad round, or like just
definitely.
Life was just getting a bit on top of you?
A bit of the bad round, and certainly I just think it was tiredness, and the whole thing of doing all those videos for those 25 days was tough. And when the ball stopped rolling, when I missed that Z video, it's then very easy to miss the next day and the next day. And all of a sudden you realise a week's gone by, haven't recorded any more content. And that's the whole point of this, is that it's very easy to talk about the good things, but sometimes life is pretty bad with golf, and it is tough. And yeah, hopefully I'm going to hit this shot, and I'll tell you a bit more. Might be some tree trouble, but yeah, we'll have a go.
The smallest of gaps, sir.
A classic handicap dilemma, isn't it? So, yeah, there is a gap through over that bunker, and there is space between the bunker and I'm not going to go for it.
In your pro mind, you can make that shot.
Yeah, but even right-handed, potentially it's a bit easier to hit it low with a bit of a hook, but no, I've learnt my lesson from going out towards the starter's hut on the first. Pretty easy pitch out. I'm going to leave myself the short stuff because the pin's at the front.
Marvellous. On the short stuff. Lovely. Okay, so you say you're going to be better. How are you going to make next year of Project Left better?
Okay, so I think a few things. I've got to be more realistic with what I can achieve content-wise. I started off, because it was new last year, I started off very easy doing 2 episodes a week, and that was really, really easy to do. And then it kind of had a bit of a dip, and then obviously got injured and everything. That didn't help. And then getting back to it, trying to then make up for lost time was tough. And then doing that crazy thing of trying to do a daily video in July was tough. So I think that I'm going to be much more like Adam's been with his content. I'm going to try and be weekly. Also, Adam and I need to get back to filming more content together, which we've started to release, which has started to roll out, and that's going to be coming in the next few weeks, and we've got some plans for that, which I think is something that we'll both think we've dipped out of this year because of obviously him getting married, and obviously with me having the second child, it's been tough. So hopefully that's settling down a bit. So that's the main thing for us content-wise, is that I'll have a day of the week that I release something, he'll have a day of the week that he releases something, and then we'll do a video, at least one video coaching a week and some reviews of products. We've got some exciting products to test. Obviously you've got your video hopefully once a week, if possible,
as
once
when,
every a couple of times a month, and that again is enough content for the channel. I think enough varied content. But in terms of the golf, I think I want to get back to enjoying it. Got to play more 18-hole rounds, and in competitions as well, putting myself under pressure. That's where I've got to be, because my name will go up on the leaderboard. It will be noted, it will be recorded by all the members that don't watch the videos, that don't see everything. And yeah, I think definitely more 18-hole competitions, and then hopefully, ideally by the end of next year, in a year's time, to be single figures and to be somewhere near where I want to be after 2 years. Really got to hammer down technique now this year. That's got to be my main focus, because I've definitely and I think as a beginner would do, and as I would expect a beginner to do, get some fundamentals, get some basics, but just go out and play. Whereas now, to get from 14 down to 9 and to go through those team handicaps is about hammering down that technique. I think I've got the game plan, I think I've got the mental side pretty sorted in terms of course management, but I think the skill of not being able to, and you saw it when we played today, played 4 holes fantastically, 4 pars on the first 4 holes we played, and then hit 2 massive tee shots way out left that just came from nowhere, didn't they?
Yeah, and you've also got the added excitement and the new learning curve of when you get your new clubs, because you're not far from your 12.
No.
So you will get your clubs at 12.
Christmas.
So fingers crossed, and
nice.
a lovely present. But then that starts a whole new
chapter
of learning, because the clubs you've got at the moment are a mismatch. They're not perfect.
It's not,
So you've got another exciting step coming up for you there. To learn how to use these perfectly fitted clubs for you, so
and how and that decision making process, going through that. I know you're going through that similar, aren't you, at the moment, where those new clubs may well set you back a little way while you get used to them. Although, if the clubs are well fitted, you shouldn't take too much getting used to. I think that's a bit of a myth in golf, is that you have to get used to new fitted clubs, and I think that puts a lot of people off buying new clubs, where actually, if they're perfectly fitted for you, they should, in theory, work fairly straight away, other than maybe some gapping issues or some ball flight height type issues.
And just a bit of confidence of something new looking behind the ball. But
dodgy lies and stuff. But
after that, you should be.
So, what do you think then? What do you think of year 1, and where do you think?
Well, admittedly, I'm pretty jealous of year 1, seeing as you've raced past me handicap wise, but you are mentally a golfer. So those that have been watching my stuff and can see that, I'm getting the amateur dodgy rounds and stuff where you've had less of those, and but it's been really interesting to see how we've compared, because length-wise I'm probably a bit longer than you off the tee, but technique-wise you've got the technique, and you've got the shot shapes that you can start putting in, and I still don't know how to line up the part of my face, and there's so many things there that I can see, that, and hopefully people at home can see as well, like when they're developing and sort of learning their game, like it's just really exciting to watch people sort of improve as you have done. I think the next 4 handicap cut, 4 points of handicap is going to be tough.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Really tough.
It's going to take time, definitely. I think the 12 hopefully should come fairly quickly.
That's a couple of good rounds, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a couple of really good rounds. It's a couple of times where it all clicks together. That's months to do, rather than potentially a whole year or more. We don't know. I might never get to single figures. That might be as far as I get. 14, 12 might be as far as I get. Hopefully not. I think I'm good enough to get better than that, but we don't know, and that's half the fun of it, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's where this started. Where did you, you're now 1 year in, where did you think you'd be here after 1 year? Do you think you'd be at 14 handicap?
I literally didn't know. 12 was my absolute, because category 2 was the ultimate goal for year 1. That would have been ridiculous. To get to 14 was more than I expected, but I didn't know. I just didn't know. I didn't know what my first handicap would be. That's half of it, because if I'd shot 90s and mid 80s as my first few rounds, then I would probably have expected it to be lower. But when it did take me a while to break 100, because all I'd ever done in the past was hit the odd shot, and hit the odd chip shot, hit the odd putt, hit the odd 7-iron in lessons or messing around with mates and stuff. So I knew I could physically hit the ball one off, but to do it over and over and over and over again, and start to bring in dodgy lies and uphills, downhills, is where it's difficult. And then judging distances and playing the game, there's a big difference to standing on a range and hitting a 7-iron and everyone going, "Oh, you can hit it left-handed." That's different, isn't it? Okay, so that's your first year where you've possibly exceeded. Yeah, I can see year 2 being not exceeding
expectations, but more manageable expectations, because now you know where you are. Now you know where you could realistically get to with some hard work. I think
my goal is to work really hard on technique back end of this season and into the winter, to try and get to 12 for Christmas, and try and let that Christmas present be the new clubs for the new year. You know, that would be lovely, and I think that's achievable because it is only 2.4 shots away from where I am now. You know, got to just get to 11.4 and then we can start going shopping, which would be nice. But then from there, you don't know. You just don't know what the year's going to bring. You're like, I had a knee injury. I was out for 3 months, basically. Who knows what would have happened if I'd... Because that was that time, January to March there, was the time where I would have had the physical time to practice and play more. And I couldn't. And all I could do was think about playing, which was horrid. But, yeah, so does that help, do you think?
I think
close the first year?
I think that you're happy with the first year is really important, because that's given you a decent drive to push year 2 and then hopefully year 3 as well, because you're stuck with this for 2 more years. And the fact that yes, you, like you said, the reason this video is late and we didn't finish Zed is because you had a bit of a slump. But there's definite desire and fire to push year 2 on, which is really exciting for everyone.
Good, brilliant. Thank you for filming.
Pleasure.
See you all soon. Bye.